Hello, welcome. Let's take a trip all the way back to 1993 and play a classic adventure game called Myst. I played a game called Abduction on my channel a few years ago. This is its great-great-grandfather, made by a lot of the same people from long ago. So this game had a lot of re-releases. There are many, many different versions of it that I could play. Looking at some information on them didn't give me a clear answer as to which would be the best experience. So I'm actually just going to play the original. This is a legitimate copy of the game. I own the real thing. It was given to me as a gift by my family back when it was released, and I'm playing on my original CD-ROM on an emulator just because that happens to be more convenient for me than actual hardware. But yeah, we're going to get the real experience here. Myst. Oh, check out those HyperCard menus. I saw that. This is made in HyperCards. Heavily modified. For one thing, HyperCard doesn't normally do color graphics, but yeah, they did some impressive things with it here. This was an extremely notable early use of rendered 3D graphics. Pretty famous game in a lot of ways. I've never beaten it. I got maybe like halfway through, maybe a little more, back in the day. And I'm gonna remember almost nothing. I know it involves books, pages, portals.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed. I must admit, however, such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me.
My Myst book.
I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
Hopefully that was audible. That's original audio quality. You know, sounds like 8-bit audio. I could understand most of that. Alright, and this is part of how you get around in the world, I want to say. This is a familiar scene here. A book like this with a moving photograph. A lot of you watching this probably know this game better than I do, so pardon the clumsy explanations. Alright, I don't need all this nonsense around here. I think I can press... there we go, I can get rid of it. Not sure what I'm going to do with video framing. Maybe I'll zoom in for this part because only like the center part is the actual game. Click! Oh geez, that sound didn't quite play right. Close enough though. Yeah, alright, I'll just zoom to this. Oh, check out that dragon in the sky? It might be a bird. Probably a bird. Alright, I'm here on a dock. I can look around, can't go that way. Door opens. Alright, I am playing on an actual optical disc, so load times might be a thing. Not noticing him too much at this point. Is that a button? Maybe. It is. Okay, what am I looking at? Not sure. Alright, some kind of imaging device. Yeah, I don't know what I'm seeing here. It's unclear to me. Well. Anything I can do here? Seems like that's the one thing to see, and maybe this? Settings, Dimensional Imager. Topographical Extrusion Test, 40. Water Turbulent Pool, 67. Marker Switch Diagram, 47. Is this a button? Yeah, here we go. Okay, so it's on 67. 67 was... water turbulent pool. Alright, let's try 40 and 47. $40. Poke. Ooh. Well, check that out. Some kind of mountainous region. Alright. Still not quite sure what I'm looking at. But it's something. It's there. Okay, let's try 47. So that was topographical extrusion test. Got it. Marker switch diagram. That sounds important. I can't go down from 0. Oh boy, not the most responsive of buttons. That's about as fast as I can go. That's fine. Okay. What was this called again? Well, that was that. There might be other settings elsewhere. Okay, so look for 2-digit numbers. Marker switch diagram. Okay. Oops, not there. Okay. Alright, well that's that. I'll keep it in mind for later. Door closes behind me. Great. So here's a marker switch. Well, I can toggle it. I toggled it. I think it was down when I got here, right? I think so. That was a little disorienting. I think I went up and turned right. So if I turn around and continue toward this thing... Okay, another marker switch. Click. Alright, so let's flip all the switches up, I guess. Alright, I guess that's a sunken ship, like this is a crow's nest, probably. I got here by touching a photograph in a book. Didn't sail. I see paper. Catherine, I've left for you a message of utmost importance in our forechamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on this island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. Here we go. Okay, there were some notes from Atris in my my manual that I could read. Sure, let's read one. Alright, so on the first page it says... No, that's in the back. 22 November. A great injustice has been done, and I, Atris, maybe, have paid the price. The books I have created lead to worlds so fantastic they could fill a lifetime, but something has gone terribly wrong and my creations are being destroyed by someone's greed. I suspect one of my sons, either Cirrus or Akinar, but I cannot be sure. I dare not write further without revealing too much. My only hope is that I can find the answer before it's too late. He tried to write late, but didn't finish the word. Alright, so I see 3 marker switches so far. Let's keep count. Some kind of seal on this place. Alright, so 3. There's a dentist's chair in here. I sat in one of those just today. Got my teeth cleaned. Alright, well, you know, I just read a note from November 22. Let's put that in. See if the manual's giving me a hint here. Whoa, okay. Okay, so that moves fast. That might be an emulator thing. I can tap gently. Alright, so that was November 22. Do I need a specific time? Probably. There's no time stamp on this. November 22, 12 a.m. Nothing happened, maybe? Whoa. Wait, hold on. I guess I didn't specify a year. Is this the year? Probably. Well, this goes way into the future. Alright, 1993, year the game came out. How's that? This isn't gonna do anything. Alright, place to input a date and time. Those sound like VCR sounds. Perhaps they are. What this? Light switch. Okay, so yeah, this is probably a projector room. Can watch a video in here if I know the date that I want to see. Or maybe... hold on, maybe I am. We'll see something if the lights are off here. Oh, okay, this is like a star map. Yeah, alright, this is a telescope, perhaps. I remember almost none of this. So this is like a complete journey of rediscovery for me. That was 3 marker switches so far. What's this temple? This is an important place. I kind of remember this. Okay, here's some books. I'm slowly getting closer to. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly. I think for some reason I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived, but how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the waters... blue? That must say blue. Can be seen plainly from here. The water is blue? I guess so. What else could that say? The air is fresh and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north, hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it... Whoa. comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever experienced. I was awakened by terrible shakings of the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a Myst linking book with me when I return, in case the one left there has been destroyed or damaged. Many years ago, when I played Minecraft with mods, I had one that was Myst themed, and I experienced this firsthand. Whoa, loading maybe. There we go. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It had been transformed into a barren desert, and with only giant craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Huh. Apparently the falling meteors did not hit this area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this horrible desolation. The hot wind I remember has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. So this is probably Atris writing. I am not playing Atris, by the way. I'm someone else. Last night I was awakened by at least I think? I'm pretty sure. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating, and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack, and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Looking on the bright side, I wonder how long this is. Oh boy. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see. I think age is their term for, like, world, basically. So I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Cirrus and Akinar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more basic materials, however. It seems as though I will be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set, and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I will be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge and the... Yeah, I can't tell what that word is. That word is the... Well, and I have decided... Okay, something turny. 3 meters is not enough support for the beams, although... Satellite transmission. Amazingly strong. Rocket ship. Has to be one of my most prized inventions. I am could never have imagined it to come together. I doubt. Could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued. I am so happy to have completed tomorrow. I am leaving today in order to bring back Cirrus and Akinar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteors set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. Alright, and here's something important. So, piano keyboard there. Let's see, what's an easy way for me to take a screenshot of this? This is a game that I might need a piece of paper to play, so let me go get one and write that down. Alright, I wrote this in a text file instead. Hopefully that'll be good enough. So we found a clue. Here's a map of... Right, okay, here's the meteor that formed the lake. Something, something. I don't think that's the island I'm on now, but maybe it is? Is that the end of the book? Nothing's happening when I click, so I think it probably is. Yeah, okay, that's the end. Alright. Oh boy, more reading. Let's put off this reading until a little later, maybe. So there's some ruined books here. I assume all of these will just be... Okay, so a lot of burning or something happened here. Well, maybe I should read this for that I can. I mean, I need clues. Just checking anything else to make sure these are the only... This will all make more sense when we can put it into better context. I understood some of that. Alright, let's check this. I have called this age Channelwood, and it is a very different world. Though it is exactly how I imagined it, it is still amazing to see it with my own eyes. Water covers this age as far as I can see, except for a small rocky island. Elsewhere there are only trees, which grow directly out of the water. A myriad of thin wooden passageways are built just above the water and disappear into the forest. I assume they were built some time ago, for they appear aged. I am eager to discover more about this land and its people, but I have arrived here, late, and I must rest. I was awakened this morning by strange noises coming from a pathway adjacent to the one on which I had slept. I saw a group of monkey-like people heading in my direction. They had not seen me yet. I did not feel threatened by their presence. Their response to me was one that I would have never expected. After I tried to buffer the page click way ahead of time, but it wasn't far enough. After staring at me for a short time, they fell to their knees and began what appeared to be some sort of ceremonial worship. I tried to speak to them, but they did not understand my language. Instead, they indicated through enthusiastic hand motions that I was to follow them. As we walked, I began to notice that the waters below us were changing colors. Slowly, subtly, they would change from deep blue to muddy orange, then from muddy orange to beautifully clear. I was so intrigued by the water, I hardly noticed that we had arrived at a ladder. Climbing the ladder led us to their village, which is about 10 meters above the water, and can only be reached by rope ladders that stretch from the lower paths to the village level, approximately halfway up the grand trees. It is very interesting watching these people carry out their daily tasks. Even after watching them for hours, I did not understand exactly what they were doing. By the way, this is a place I can go, so we'll be seeing this in person at some point. At sunset, they motioned for me to follow them. I followed the creatures to the doorway of an enormous hut. Strangely, once inside, I found that the hut appeared even larger than it had from the outside. The walls were garnished with bright metals, and in the center of the hut sat the leader of these people. At least he appeared to be their leader, for he sat a meter off the floor in a thick throne. Guards surrounded the strong creature, who was dressed in many exotic, colorful fabrics. Next to the leader sat a very old human. At least to some extent, he appears human. His hair, which was only on his face and head, was... Where else do you expect it? I mean, he could have body hair, but I guess he didn't. Was completely gray, almost white, and hung very long around his frail body. His thin head hung limply by an almost grotesque neck that could not hold its head up to look at me. But what a surprise, this creature could speak my language. Shortly thereafter, I was given a bed with some hand motions that looked to be telling me to go to sleep. I look forward to learning more. As I suspected, the ancient creature is a human, but he is old beyond his own reckoning and seems almost insane. However, the tree dwellers almost revere him as a god. They are treating me now in the same fashion, which makes me feel very uncomfortable. It is almost impossible to understand this old man. His voice is feeble but wild. He has adopted much of the language of the tree dwellers. He himself told me he had not spoken our own tongue in ages. He attempted to explain to me the history of this place. The following is my best translation of what he has told me. Many years ago, the humans and tree dwellers lived together in this place, which was then a vast island. They interacted very little. The humans dwelt on the ground, and the tree dwellers lived high above the humans. Occasionally, the island was disturbed by mysterious rumblings, which happened randomly, some sort of tectonic or volcanic action, I suspect. The sometimes slight, sometimes heavy tremors would only last a short time. Then they would stop, allowing everything to return to normal. One day things changed. The rumbling began and grew quickly to unprecedented levels. Soon it became apparent that the entire island was sinking slowly into the ocean around them. Many of the humans died that day, but not before sacrificing themselves in order to stop the sinking of the island. The humans who lived through this catastrophe moved into the trees, where they gradually died out, maybe because they were unequipped for such an environment, but I am not sure. This is the story the old man communicated to me, although many details are very unclear in my mind. I am especially confused as to how the humans saved the island from completely sinking. That's what I was wondering. In fact, I doubt the accuracy of that part of the story. The island must have stopped on its own. Yet the old man believes in the truth of the story as if he had been there. Maybe he was. And the tree dwellers worship him, and apparently all humans, as if they were heroes or gods. The old man ended our conversation today with an event which I will never forget. He began gripping my hands tightly, murmuring something about rest and asleep. He then said, "We had expected you to come sooner." These actions filled me with a sort of immediate dread. With much effort, he stood to his feet. I tried to help, but he pushed me away with more force than I imagined his frail body contained. The tree dwellers quietly surrounded him with very solemn faces. Then they kneeled before him. He walked to each and placed his hand on their heads. All the while, he murmured words which I did not understand. Finally, he turned to me and smiled. Then he closed his eyes and walked out of the door and off of the narrow path, high in the trees. The tree dwellers were silent. They began a procession down the nearest rope ladder. As I was descending, I saw several of them pick up the body, he had fallen onto a lower level of the walkway, and carry it away. He was lain down at the dead end of the short pier-like structure. With the use of some potion, one of the tree creatures lit the pier on fire, and I watched as the flames engulfed him. As the strange funeral proceeded, the waters around the pier changed to dull green. This morning I awoke, finding it hard to even believe the previous evening's events. The water is a dull green for as far as I can see now. For some reason, the water no longer shifts color. As I wander throughout the pathways, the creatures watch me, curious to see what I will do next. They are constantly offering me strange objects of affection. I even found food outside the doorway to the room in which I had slept. This is a unique race of beings. I hope to learn their language soon so that I may learn more from them. I have lived on this world for 3 months off and on, and the tree dwellers have shown great hospitality. I am even beginning to learn bits of their language. I have decided to return home for an extended stay with my loving wife and my sons, and hopefully return with them. However, I am sure Catherine will once again refuse. Okay, so Catherine's his wife. Got it? I think this age would be a wonderful experience for them all, and I at least look forward to how Cirrus and Achenar would react to its curious inhabitants. Catherine is staying behind as expected. My sons have returned with me, and they enjoy this age very much. They get along very well with the tree dwellers and are picking up their language surprisingly fast. These sound like young boys. I have no doubt that it will not be too long until they can speak with the tree dwellers much better than myself. I am leaving tomorrow to check on Osmoian age? Let's say that's what it says. Osmoian? Cosmic Osmo? Previous game from here? These developers, maybe? Cirrus has suggested that I allow him and his brother to stay. Though the idea unsettles me, I know the boys are growing up rapidly. Okay, yeah, so young boys. The hospitality of these creatures is such that I could think of no better place to leave them alone for a short while, so I will consent to their request. I warned the boys not to take advantage of the respect of the tree dwellers. The respect the tree dwellers have for their ideas. They seem to understand my warning, and I have faith they will follow it. Much to my dismay, upon arriving in Everdunes, I learned that Pran and her people are continuing to be menaced by the Chachtik? Is that what that says? Chochtic. That's what I see. I fear for their I don't know what any of these things are. I fear for their survival and plan on returning to her shortly after checking on Cirrus and Achenar here. See Everdune's journal for more information. After watching Cirrus and Achenar, I see they are handling things very well, and I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again. Alright, so they're doing well. And for a little longer time. I think I can put to rest any fears about leaving them in Channelwood again, and for a little longer time. Purple text now. The tree dwellers seem slightly distressed that I am leaving, but are happy that Cirrus and Achenar are staying behind again. I have been gone for over 3 days and have been to many different places. I had to tell Cirrus and Achenar about Pran's death today, and they were visibly shaken, although they only remembered her from their childhood. Catherine has suggested that it would be wise for Cirrus and Achenar to leave Channelwood. Always mentioned in this order together. To leave Channelwood for a while, and I have to agree. They will be returning with me when I leave again. I have told my sons that they will be returning with me in 2 days. They spent the entire night telling me of an adventure they experienced in my absence, and it was rather remarkable. It seems they constructed a boat with the creatures and traveled some ways out into the surrounding waters. I enjoy hearing them talk excitedly of their adventures, and am reminded of my own adventures as a child. Oh boy, this goes on for a bit, and there are 2 more books to read. I think I might not do those 2 today. I finally understand why the tree dwellers have been giving me their many inks and insisting I write with them. Looking through some of my past entries, I see now that the inks have changed from black. I thought they were to various... from the black I thought they were to various different colors. I have shown some of the creatures my journal, and they laughed and howled. I did not know they had such a sense of humor. Even now, as I look through this very colorful journal, I cannot help but laugh myself. I remembered this from having read this book long ago. We will be returning tomorrow, so my sons are with the creatures for the last night here. They have told me they would like to come to Channelwood again. That's right, you can understand some of their language now. This is your sons telling you that. And also asked if they can visit some of the other ages alone. Though I will have to think over their request, I believe they have proven to me that they are trustworthy and responsible. Catherine will also have to help me decide whether they are ready for travel alone. For now, I must give my farewells to the creatures, for I do not know how long it will be until I visit this age again. Future Bridge here. Okay. So map of Channelwood. I don't know what this is supposed to be. Some kind of half windmill at a hut high up. Okay, is there a clue in here? Maybe. Well, if there's a clue, I guess I'll understand what it is later. Okay, so there's the Channelwood book. Here's the something. Volcanic Age. Here's another one I could read clearly. Oh boy. And here's another one I could read. Alright, gear icon on this. This book is ruined. A lot of ruined books here. So yeah, I think it's just these four. Those are the most clearly standing out. Alright, yeah, so let's not do too much reading all in a row. This happened in Abduction too. It's just a thing that these games do. I'm going to look around this room just a little bit before I'm done for the day. This thing is important. Buzz. 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 Buzz if I hold it. Okay. A picture that buzzes. Whoa. Okay, well that's fun. Okay, so I can open a secret passage there if I want to go somewhere instead of reading books. I'm going to read books first. Oh, now you buzz. Okay, I see. This depicts the secret passage. This depicts... Hold on. Is my exit sealed right now? It is. So that would be my way out. So if I want to leave... Okay, red book there. That's fun. That thing up there, it slams shut. Here's a fireplace, apparently. Whoa, I went into it. Don't light a fire. Okay, this might be like an elevator or something. I'm gonna not do too much here. This is a map of the island I'm on. Here we go. I am... somewhere. Let's see, I'm in a round building. It might be this one. Tower rotation. Whoa. Oh, I can... Oh, geez. Okay, I did something. Alright, there's a tower here I can rotate. Can I do other stuff? Seems like the flickering thing is the only thing that's interactive here. Okay, so I can rotate a tower there. Whoa, click. I want to real quick interact with these red and blue books. Red book. Bunch of static. Does nothing when clicked. I think I remember how to use this, so I won't see anything here, but if I take this, pick up the page and insert it into the book, something happens. Bring me a red page. Boy, that's loud.
I can't see. You red page, you must. Bring.
I am Cirrus. Alright, what I understood of that was, who are you? Bring me a red page. I am Cirrus. You must rescue. Alright. So that's what's going on there. Blue book. Similar story here. Blue static. So let's give it a blue page. Unfortunately, I kind of know what happens with these books. It's very important, and it's supposed to be a surprise, and I already know what the surprise is, but, you know, I'll go through the motions at least.
Cirrus? Is that you?
Cirrus, is that you? No, it's not me.
Are you? See you. Nah. Help me. Bring me blue pages. Never and ever. Pages. I must have the blue page. Bring them to me.
Alright, so Akinar comes across a lot more unhinged than Cirrus. He wants blue pages. Okay, so these are not twin boys. I believe these are played by the developers of the game. Pretty sure one of those played somebody in Abduction. Anyway, yeah, so important room, books here, lots of different types of books. So Cirrus and Akinar are apparently trapped within these books, and it's up to me to rescue them, or not. Anyway, yeah, so there's more reading to do here. This is important information, some of it at least, and it's interesting background. Okay, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just, let's see, I'm at 3 marker switches, so I'll remember that for next time. Have I been into this building yet? Do I know what this is? Yeah, okay, that's the dentistry and movie watching room. Okay. So I tested this out a moment ago. Something a little weird happens. I'm going to save my game here. Let's call this main save file. So I tested saving and loading just to make sure I'd be able to do it. When I restored that game, it put me somewhere else on the island. So I get to this book, which shows something I haven't seen before. Oh, okay, I think I know what this is, actually. This is the top of that room I was just in, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so I can look down here, and I'm back in this room. Can I look up? I can. Okay, so here's the... that's what this is. So yeah, this is just the spawn point when I save and restore. Alright, so progress is saved. Progress consisting of putting those pages in those books and flipping the 3 marker switches up, I guess. Alright, this is exciting. I've been wanting to play this game for a long time and I'm finally getting around to it. It was kind of complicated to figure out how to do it, but we're doing it now. Alright, see you next time for some more reading and then some actual exploring.